Andre Cacciaturian of NESN.com with Matt Perino of UFC.com. Big news, Matt. George St-Pierre making his return to the octagon. He'll be fighting Michael Bisping for the 185 title belt. It's been 4 years since this guy's fight, and the guy's moving up from welterweight to middleweight. Matt, how do you see this playing out for GSP, who's going to be fighting at a much higher weight this time around?
Such an exciting time, Andre. We've been waiting for the return of George St-Pierre, which has been teased for a while. I remember back at UFC 196, he had attended Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, or a lot of people thought he potentially could be an opponent of Conor McGregor. He's gone the opposite way, and instead of going down in weight, which he talked about at 155 even potentially, he's going up to 185 to take on Michael Bisping, who has become kind of an easy target for a lot of fighters out there. A lot of people want this fight. A lot of people think Michael is beatable, but all he's done is win. I mean, if you look at his last, 4 or 5 fights, he has been the best Michael Bisping that there's ever been. And you have George St-Pierre, who's coming back after 4 years out of the cage. I don't know, though. I mean, it could be good. I mean, you look at Dominic Cruz, who was out for a few years. He came back and won the bantamweight title. So maybe GSP knows what he's doing.
What exactly can we expect from this guy who hasn't fought in 4 years, and his last finish was back in 2009? All of his wins before he took a break from the sport, they were all decision victories. So what can we expect from this guy? It's been so long.
I'm still expecting big things, Andre. I think George St-Pierre is a very smart guy. He's very tactical. That's how he rose to fame. That's how he won all those titles. I think he knows what he has inside. At 35 years old, he has another run in him. He said that he did a training camp to prepare to see what kind of level he was at, and he said this version of George St-Pierre at 35 years old would beat the GSP of 4 years ago. You have to remember, by the time he walked away against Johnny Hendrick, a lot of people thought he lost that fight. He lost maybe a little motivation. He had a lot of things going on in his personal life. He's recharged. He's re-energized, and I think that that's a very, very scary prospect for anybody that's going to be standing across the octagon from him.
I think he's a good opponent to make a comeback against too. Michael Bisping, as you mentioned, he's kind of been an easy target for the UFC world. And his last win is Dan Henderson, who was, he's closer to Social Security than his prime days of fighting. He was 45, 46 years old. So I think it's a good way to come back for GSP against an opponent I think he might do very well against. But we'll see what's going to happen down the road. For all of your UFC news, keep it on NESN.com or UFC.com. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks, Andre.